folks, we're here today at Brushy Mountain Motorsports Park. They're located at 2491 Lambert Fork Road. Now that's way up here in the country in Alexander County. I tell you what, this is God's country, and we're happy to be here. Today we're speaking with Tyler Mull. His dad Richard owns the facility. Tyler pretty much runs it though.
Yes, sir.
He just tells Richard what to do. But a real great group of guys up here at Brushy Mountain Motorsports Park, and we're happy to be here, man. It's a beautiful day, and the people that come up to Brushy Mountain, they're ready to have a good time when they get here, I'm sure. So basically this is a park where you can bring your motocross bike, your four-wheeler, or whatever. We're going to get into that, but one of the best places in the state to come ride. You get a lot of traffic from urban areas, you know, people from Alexander County, all across the state, probably even other states, but we'll talk about that a little bit more. Anyway, just want to give a brief introduction to what Brushy Mountain Motorsports Park is. Now, Tyler, I understand you and your dad started this park back in 2002. Tell us a little bit about how Brushy Mountain Motorsports Park got its start.
Well, initially how it started was we had 50 acres out in Burke County, and just there wasn't any places to ride. And my brother and I, we told everybody, you know, we ride up here in 50 acres, and that's about all we have to ride anywhere. So it kind of clicked with my dad that hey, you know, this is a pretty good idea. Let's see about finding a bigger piece of property and going from there. So he started searching around, and Alexander County called him up, and I believe 2001 for a piece of property we had here that we're on now, and we started from there and started building trails. We've been here since 2001, I believe, back in August or September is when we opened up in 2002. So
sweet, man. I mean, that's awesome. It's and how many acres and how many miles of trails do you have?
We have 1,736 acres. Right now we have about 85 miles of trails. Dirt bikes can ride all 85 miles of trails.
Okay.
Side-by-sides, they ride about 35 to 40 miles, and then four-wheelers can ride about 45 miles of trails.
Now, side-by-sides, someone who's not into this is like myself.
Okay.
I enjoy watching it, but I've never really ridden. What's a side-by-side?
A side-by-side is I'm going to call it a hopped-up golf cart.
Oh, okay.
It is a bigger than a four-wheeler, made for two people. You sit side-by-side. And then actually have the four-seaters now that are side-by-sides. It's two in the front, two in the back. Okay,
so dirt bikes, they can ride all the trails, and then you said side-by-sides how much, and four-wheelers how much?
Dirt bikes can ride all of them. Four-wheelers have about 35 to 40 miles. I'm sorry, side-by-sides have about 35 to 40 miles, and then four-wheelers have about 45 miles of trails.
So more than enough, more than adequate space to ride up here at Brushy Mountain Motorsports Park. It's awesome, man. So we talked about types of vehicles. What kind of pricing? I mean, it's very reasonable what I've seen on your website, which you've recently redone your website. It's bommspark.com. So you need to go visit that, folks. It's a great website. So good job there.
Thank you.
What is your pricing up here? It's real reasonable.
The pricing is, if you ride a dirt bike, it's $25. That's if you're older than 16 years of age. If you're on the side-by-side, it is $30, and the $30 covers your passenger up to one passenger. And if you're on a four-wheeler, it's also $25.
All right, can't beat that. And that's all day long, right?
All day long, and if you decide to do a two-day ride, back-to-back, we'll cut off $5, and then if you also do 3 days, we cut off another $5. So instead of paying $25, and $25, it's $60 for the whole weekend.
Wow, so you can ride for 3 days for $60?
Yes, sir.
You can't beat that, man. That's awesome. Now, that kind of leads into the next question. Where do people come from to ride at Brushy Mountain? Is it just like right here in the Poplar Springs area, or maybe even Ellendale, or is it maybe Wilmington or Tennessee or something like that?
We have people coming here as far as Canada. We had some gentlemen here a couple weeks ago that came in. Most of our clientele, they come in from Winston-Salem, Greensboro. A lot of people coming from the beach. It's really our local riders. We see them about once a month. Most of our people that come in here come from 2 hours away.
Wow. Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, the urban areas, they don't have a place to ride, like say in Charlotte or Winston-Salem, so they got to come up here to God's country, Alexander County. So,
yes, sir.
That's awesome, man. Now, you've had some pretty famous people come up here to ride before. Tell us about that.
We've had Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who was a NASCAR guy. We've also had Dale Earnhardt Jr. We've had several national champions. Mike Lafferty was here actually last weekend with KTM. Charlie Mullins, who is your GNCC national champion. Who else? Let's see. Graham Jarvis.
Yeah.
Graham Jarvis is your big Red Bull champion. He was here a couple weeks ago doing a training class.
I heard you rode laps around him.
I was on the ground quite often, actually.
He rode laps around you then.
Yeah, that man is he's a heck of a rider.
Yeah.
He's a real good rider. We've also had David Knight, and David Knight and Graham Jarvis. They're from over from the Europe area. So when they come in, they're usually in here doing either classes or they're doing the big GNCC, which is the Grand National Cross Country event.
Right. Well, and what are these famous or professional riders? What do they think about the park?
They actually really like the park. Charlie Mullins, who was our national champion right now for the GNCC, or who was before he hurt himself, he was here last weekend. He loves the park. We have a lot to offer, the dirt bike riders especially. Motocross track, we have a really nice motocross track that Todd Bennett built for us back in August. And then our single track, we have some of the best single track, I'd like to say, on probably the East Coast.
Well, that's pretty good accolades there, man.
Yeah.
We're proud to have you here in Alexander County.
Thank you.
Happy to have you. Now, tell us, I know you're Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 9 to 5.
And that's weather dependent. So
Yeah.
if it's kind of iffy, if it's looking rainy, or if you've just had a downpour that week, probably call before you come, right?
Yes, sir. If we have a lot of rain that's coming in, or if it's actually raining that day, we probably will close down just for the fact that the trails do take a beating. So
Yeah.
we do a call before you haul, is what I like to say.
Call before you haul.
Yes,
I like
sir.
that. Yeah, that's cool. So it's kind of difficult to explain, but basically if you take Highway 6490 west going toward Lenoir, take a right onto All Healing Springs Road, and then is it Dennis Lambert Fork Road?
It's actually you take a right on All Healing Springs, and then you have to take another left to get back on All Healing Springs again because
yeah.
of the weird fork.
Right.
But you're about from Highway 90, you're roughly about 5.5 to 6 miles away.
Yeah.
So
Does GPS get you here with this 2491 Lambert Fork Road?
It's funny you asked that. I actually GPSed it this morning out of Mooresville. It brought me here.
Yeah.
Some other people's GPS will bring you here. Some of them will actually turn you on the wrong way, and it'll tell you to pull over into the field, park your car, and get out and walk. So check your GPS before you come in.
Yeah. So come all the way to the building and check in before you ride.
Yes, sir.
And Tyler, Richard, and Henry, and the folks up here, they'll treat you right. Good folks here at Brushy Mountain Motorsports Park. Anything else you'd like to share with the folks out there, Tyler?
I'd like to invite everybody out to come out and ride at Brushy Mountain one weekend, and I appreciate it.
Well, we're glad to be up here, man. This is beautiful. And if you got a dirt bike or four-wheeler or a side-by-side, which I just learned about, bring it up here to Brushy Mountain Motorsports Park. I mean, 85 miles of trails. How can you beat that? And right here in Alexander County. All right, folks, we'll see you out here at 2491 Lambert Fork Road, Brushy Mountain Motorsports Park. Buy local, Alexander County. To learn more about our Buy Local Alexander County campaign, visit the Alexander County EDC website, alexanderedc.org, or give me a call, 828-632-1378. Buy local, Alexander County.